Here we go. I added in another picture of the hyena with the mock dong. Oh, can't forget this part. So remember I pointed out how, see, he's got this shark, a fish, over top of a duck, or goose, a duck, whatever. You know, a bird of flight, an animal that flies in the sky. We see this mirrored on his father's blog site. It's called franksfiction.com. Right there on the main page. See, you have this picture of a school of fish transposed over top of a tree in the air, and it looks like they're swimming in the sky, and they are above a bird there. See? This is interesting. I keep seeing this pop up. I saw this most recently on the Facebook page of someone I barely know, had barely met. It was suggested I go stay with them when I was suddenly made homeless by my mother. And when I was staying with them, I started to get the sense that I was in danger and that they were actively messing with my food, literally putting something in my food. This person was making me these delicious looking, scrumptious meals. And the first night after I ate dinner, I felt really woozy, like really, really lightheaded, and passed out, did not wake up for hours. Typically I at least get up a little bit, wake up at least long enough to turn over in bed. I was sleeping on their couch, and so this guy's 70 years old. It's a trans woman. He's a trans woman. She's a trans woman. You know what? Say what you will. It's never going to be a woman to me. It's a man pretending to be a woman, wishing he was a woman. And behaves very much doesn't behave like a woman. Affecting an idea of a woman, but there are certain telltale little signs, he wanted to share a bed with me. Offered to have me sleep in the bed with him. Most adult women, if they have a couch that's open, they might have a friend over to sleep for a few nights, but they'll either sleep on the couch and have their friend sleep in the bed, or they'll have their friend sleep on the couch and they'll sleep in the bed. Usually they will not share a bed. Most women, adult women, they like their space, and especially if it's somebody you barely know. And again, when I went to meet this person, they were like a friend of a friend, and I didn't even know the friend who was friends with them very well. So it was, I barely knew the person who sent me to his door, and I barely knew him. And I just needed a place to stay, lay my head down for a little bit till I figured out what I was doing, where I was going next. Sorry, I'm letting my cat in the door. Oh, you babies. Now the other two escaped. You naughty things. It's dark. You know the rules. All right, sorry. Well, I'm going to finish this up really quick, and then I'm going to go gather up some kittens. So here we go. Here's just a screenshot from Joaquin Frank's blog, online blog. And I'm going to show you this guy's, this guy I'm talking about. His name is, his given name when he was born was Thomas A. Poloni. He's changed his name to Tristan. What was it? A. Nicole or E. Nicole. Anyway, I started to feel very much like he was trying to distract me from doing anything productive, giving me bad advice for certain things, I started to feel like there was definitely something in the food. I have really good gut instincts for when something is amiss, and right from the get-go, I started to feel like something's off about this situation. Something's very off. And then my analytical mind started kicking in and going, let's figure out what's off. What's making the gut go, danger, Will Robinson, danger. And certain little things I noticed, like him wanting to share a bed with me. Even though he claims like he's really a woman who's attracted to women, so I guess he's a lesbian trapped inside of a man's body. Still in all, even a lesbian, like, I'm a grown woman. If a man, and I'm a hetero grown woman, so I'm attracted to adult men. I am not going to just right off the bat, the first day I meet someone, have them, a dude, if he's staying at my house. First of all, that's scary enough. He's going to be staying on the couch. I'm not going to offer to sleep in the bed with him. Like, he's not going to be sleeping in my bed with me. All right. So it just, like, and again, even if it was like girlfriends, two girlfriends, they won't typically share a bed. They're going to split up their sleeping space, because women, we like our space. We like our alone time. We like, we want to have a corner, someplace to go to be away from that person, another person that we're sharing a domicile with. So the fact that this person, Tristan Thomas, whatever, was immediately trying to get me to sleep in the same bed with him. It's the very first night I was there. I was like, no thanks, I'm going to take the couch. So here I will pull up my Facebook. He Facebook tried to face it. Well, I guess succeeded, because I accepted the Facebook friends request so I could look at his Facebook stuff. But after I left, and it got so creepy so fast that literally, like, on the third day I was there at night, when he laid down, go to sleep for a little bit, take a nap, I gathered up all my stuff and just left. Just was like, any place. I'll sleep on the street. It was freezing cold. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm safer out here on the streets than in that place. So, and this person's 70, and they also, like, he has a catchphrase that's like, forever 37 or something. Because, again, this is the psychology I'm noticing about these people in general. This cult, the members of this cult, they seem to have a problem with the idea of growing old and dying. It's very childish. It's very sad and pathetic, because that is a part of life. So they seem to be forever racing towards some solution to this, what they would perceive, I'm sure, as a problem. The problem of growing old and death. You see Richard Hart, you can see that's all written all over him. They want to live forever. I don't know why they think that they're so special they should be allowed to live forever. Anyway, so let's have a look at Tristan's photos. And so as you see, instead of showing like a real face to the world, he's showing like a painting of himself when he was young. So here's some stuff. So here you go. Here's an idea of like the meals, the resplendent looking meals that he made for me. And the third night, when I gathered my stuff up, I was already becoming increasingly more suspicious of his behavior, and of especially the fact that the night before I got very woozy and passed out after I ate the meal that he made me. But then dinner that night, the night that I left, I tasted very, very distinctly something very chemical. And it tasted kind of like, it tasted and smelled in my mouth, in the roof of my mouth, the way like acetone, like nail polish remover smells. Again, so we've got fairies. Remember how I said fairies tend to be connected? Lots of fairies there. Pink, we've got lots of pink, and 5. 5 is a big number that they're connected with. 5 is connected with the Abrasics, the Gnostic deity. The symbol that's the rooster head that has 2 snakes as legs. The number of Abrasics is 365. So it's a sun god. There are 365 days of the year, because that's how many times the earth goes around the sun. And if you add up 365 or add it down in numerology, it adds down to 5. That's also the number of human beings. You know, like we have 5 fingers, 5 on each hand. We have 5 toes on each foot. Get it? Five. We have like 5 appendages sticking out of our torso. You know, we have 2 arms, 2 legs, and we have a head. So a shape that would more accurately describe us. I know that Jung liked to just, was it Jung or Freud? One of those dum-dums tried to describe or represent human beings with an upward pointing triangle. Like, no, you idiot. A star is way better to represent human beings. So, here, sunflowers. I've mentioned in past videos how I see sunflowers often. So a sunflower will often represent the same thing as that mother of light. And quite often I'll see something like a reference like a hummingbird sipping at a sunflower. In fact, Zay Frank, in his video about hummingbirds in his True Facts series on YouTube, go watch the one about hummingbirds. One of his jokes is, are you going to stick your freaky toenail tongue down sunflowers, no hole or whatever? I don't know. Yes, so whatever you want to call it. So it's one of those jokes. So, yes, quite often this idea of hummingbirds sipping at sunflowers is a trend that pops up with a pattern that pops up with these people, fairies as well. They consider themselves to be fairies or the fae people. I think that this is who, these are the people, and their bloodlines are what really started the fantasy idea, folklore about fairies. I know people out there love to think of themselves as fairies because they want to be magical. Why don't you be down to earth and a bit more realistic, guys? You're not a fairy, nor do you want to be, because really the fae folk are incestuous people who suck the life out of children in order to keep or attempt. I think they are attempting, however, experimenting with different ways that they might be able to literally suck the life and energies out of younger people so that they can keep themselves young forever. Because they're pathetic cowards who are terrified of growing old and dying. This is so interesting because, look, he posted this photo on May 14th, 2018. That's like 5 years ago, guys. And he showed me this very same picture printed out. It even had some of the same coloring in and everything, when I was staying with him. And that was just this past March for 3 days. So he's had the same picture printed out and everything, like on a typical sheet of printer paper for 5 years, just sitting around. And he broke it out for me, like, look at it. It's weird. So mermaids, Ariel, mermaids. So we're seeing mermaids. We're seeing fairies. We're seeing sunflowers. We're seeing pink and 5-petaled flowers, flowers within flowers. Wow, that's a lot of connections right there already. What are the odds, guys? And there's a rose. What are the odds? Yes, some people are going to have a fairy on their pictures, on their, photo uploads. Some people are going to have maybe even a fairy and a mermaid. Maybe if they're really into fantastical stuff. But I doubt very much they would have also something like this. So let's come down. We're going to find it. Here we go. Fish transposed, a picture of fish in a pond transposed over. So really it's like grabbing, it's not a picture, it's just one picture. It's not one picture transposed over another as it is in Joaquin Frank's blog. This is just a cleverly captured photo of the reflection of trees and a sky in a fish pond where you can still see the fish in the water. So it gives the appearance that the fish are swimming in the sky amongst the trees. And note how it's laid out in his feed, in his photo feed. It's over top of birds here, seagulls down here. And I believe in the picture itself, those might be birds there in the reflection in the water, flying. in the sky. Those little black blips there, those might be birds, and then just under the fish. So again, oh, and another fairy, more fairies. Again, you guys really need to either gut check it or crunch the numbers. Oh, fairy, butterflies, hearts within butterflies. Guys, hey, do you know where I've seen this? Hearts within hearts to make a butterfly? Hey, here's where I've seen that. FBI. Pedophile symbols. The FBI released an official kind of collection of images that are used by pedophile networks. Gotta wait for them to pop up. Oh, here we go. See? Because they're not going to go out of their way they're not going to be using like images that look exactly like this, guys. They might occasionally if they're dumb, but like they run the risk of getting caught. What they're going to do is instead they're going to reference those symbols like this. A butterfly with heart wings. Say, Frank, a friend of yours? Oh, Frank from Shameless. And I'm pretty sure that this guy, oh, he's saying, you really got to watch this. I'm pretty sure he was telling me he hated this show, actually. I remember thinking to myself, oh, I wonder like how this conversation would go between he and this other dude I had just recently met who loved the show Shameless and was talking about it all the time. So it's interesting that he was telling me with his word stuff in his mouth that he didn't like this show, and he's got a picture of it, and he's saying, you know, you really got to watch this on his Facebook. Frank's. This guy's name is Frank. His character in the show is Frank Gallagher. Zay. Is this a friend of yours? Is this dude, is this douchebag a friend of yours? This woman wannabe? Is it a friend of yours? This creature? It's not a woman just because it has long hair and tits. Oh, and I already made this clear to him too in messages like, and don't worry about it. There are creatures out there born with all the equipment that have even pushed babies out of that equipment. Doesn't make them women. Some of them are little girls at best. They're pathetic. You either have it or you don't. You don't have it, honey. Here we go. If you guys want to see what dude really looked like. This is pretty close, although this is a few years back. Now he's got white hair. Very white, grayish hair. This is the chick who I met that was like, oh, you can stay with my friend, T. That's what he goes by, T. And I barely knew her. Okay? Oh, we've got things like a little pink star down there. Sea star. With the green over top of it. The gray-green over top of it. The same as right here. The gray over the pink. I'm pretty sure you tried to have me poisoned, you evil shit. Meanwhile, you're what, I don't know, what, hitting on me or some shit? In your stupid fucking videos? What do you have to say for yourself? You pathetic creep. Why don't you do the job yourself? Come on. Come here and do the job yourself, you coward. Fucking pathetic creep. Goodbye. For now.